Hello and welcome back to Sacred Vapes, channel that aims to bring you the views and experiences of products in the market today, brought to you by an average vapor. Now this week, I've got a product that by itself is quite a normal release, but the bigger picture of it is actually much more significant. It's this, the Smok Morph kit. Now you will see I'm using TFV16 on this. I'll explain why later on. But yeah, the reason why this is a bit more significant, you actually go back to about 2 years ago, or maybe 3, I'm losing track of time. It would have been 2 years ago. That's how quickly the vaping market just seems to pass me by. But yeah, it started in the September 2017, and there was just product after product getting released by Smok. Started with the Alien, there was the Pro Color, there was the Devilkin, there was another one by that name. You had the X-Priv, the G-Priv, the I-Priv, the S-Priv, and all different letters of the alphabet that were coming out. And it was just mod after mod after mod, and they were all the same thing. And it ended, I might be wrong, but the last one they might have released was the I-Priv, the talking one. And then there was a hiatus of about 3 months, and nothing came out other than like a stick kit. And then back in the September, they released the Species and the E-Priv, and straight away the quality control had shot up. You know, if you go back and watch my videos on both of them, you'll see, the build quality's better, the chipset's better, everything suddenly improved. They got rid of little issues that I had with the old sort of Smok devices. And then up until now, I mean, this came out probably about 2 months ago, and ultimately it's essentially the end of their release year for a kit, considering we'll be moving now into September, October for the next one. And honestly, it's really, really good. So the implication of this, in that sense, is that you can see just how little they're releasing, but how much better quality they are, which is always a fantastic thing. So what we'll do, we'll go into the up close. I'll show you how it works and what you get in the box. But first, let's give her a vape. Here we go for the unboxing of the Smok Morph 219 kit. And as you can see, packaging is your typical Smok design. Get your logo there, information on the back, some security information there, what you get. Nice little contents there. Rather than a list, you get pictures. So we'll get her open now. There we go. And what you get the Smok Morph mod. Take it out. Oh. You get battery information. You get instruction book, warranty card, and then you get the TF tank. Now if it's EU, the TPD version, you get the TFV mini tank. If you buy from outside, you get the Smok TF tank, which I have talked about in the past, so I won't go too much into that. But you get spare straight glass, you get, which I'm guessing is about 4mm. You get USB cable, you get one of them for silicone things for the tank for protection, and a second coil. So that's pretty much what you get. So we'll take a look at the mod now. We'll get some batteries in it. It's a bottom battery clasp door. So we'll drop the batteries in there. Here we go, and get your typical Smok design there. 5 clicks, turns it on. You get a bit of a background as well. Now, as a battery hinge, that's a little clasp that connects. You get the back resin design. As I say, it's a left-hand side fire bar, and on the top there's room for about up to 28-29mm with the centralized pin. which is surprising. And USB port there for firmware updates or charging. Now, looking at the screen, you get your seconds. Whoop, it's a touchscreen device. Seconds, wattage, mode, which is your preheat, adjust buttons. You get ohms, volts, amps, puffs. I reset this, messing about with this. That's why it only says 6. But you get the padlock there to tell you that it's locked. There's the menu button. And then there's your battery indicators, which these two batteries are quite low, as you can see. Now, how it works: 5 clicks turns the device off. You'll get power off, yes or no. In this case, press no. Now, to lock the device is this button here. Now, if you press it, let's get it up, the screen just goes off. And it locks it that way. If you hold the button in, see the padlock come off. Nice and simple. So we'll take a look at the mod now, and how you do it. Let's unlock it. Press that button there at the top, and you have mode, my mode, puff, and settings. Go into mode. Now this is your simple, what you normally would expect. So you have wattage, temp Ti, temp nickel, temp stainless steel. You have preheat options for wattage. There you can adjust the variable, and you can set the wattage as well for all of them. So there you go. Now go into my mode. What these are actually pre-select, well, cards almost, that you can pick what wattage, what preheat. It times out quite quick, but wattage, preheat, what flavor you're using, and what nicotine. So you can save them all up, and you can do it for 4 different things. So you can, if you're going to use more than one tank on this, good idea. Press puffs, and then that's your maximum puffs before it resets. Goes all the way down to 0. Puff clear. See, clears the puffs. Now settings, you have general, which is about, factory reset, accessibility, power off. Let's go back. Chip, that's your chip information. Theme, you can set the very basic wallpapers. You won't probably see a difference there. And screen color, again self-explanatory, changes to color. Screen mount time, you can adjust that. And then passcode, you can lock the device via a passcode. So I haven't got a passcode set, but you would just set it in there, and then I'd imagine then you would lock the device. Let's have a little go. So there we go. What's your four lucky numbers? So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 codes of your cell phone numbers. 1, 3, 4 again. There we go. And it hasn't made any difference. I'm not too sure what it's password protected, but there you go. So yeah, that that was the Smok Morph. What we'll do is we'll take it back up top, and we'll actually, just before we do, the other thing I wanted to show you was that it's a keyboard input. So if you wanted to type, there you go, ABC. So you can go, there we go, S, and that's how you type. It's got a full keyboard input, although not the best by the looks of that. But yeah, we'll take it back up top now. We'll get talking about it, and we'll see if it's well worth picking this up. Welcome back. So that was the up close for the Smok Morph kit. We'll get talking about it now because, as I say at the start of the video, it's actually a really good quality device. So, the first pro for me is going to be, it's just the build quality is absolutely fantastic. It feels really solid in the hand. The fire button's nice and clicky. You know, just well thought out design in terms of the quality of it. Now, I'm not a big fan of that on the back, the resin design, but that's just personal preference. But just overall, just everything seems to be thought out, and that seems to go on to my next pro, and that's going to be, when I say well designed, it's just everything about this. You know, from the fire lock button that I showed you guys in the up close. You know, the fact that there's the power off option that's through the fire bar, which you know I like. There's, I say, just screen off. You know, even the fact that, just show you there, screen off, screen on, and it locks it that way as well. Just everything about it is just absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it the bottom battery clasp is nice and secure. You know, there's no battery issues of them coming out. You know, the fact that, you know, the reason why I'm using the TFE 16 on this, which I said I'd explain, is because look at that. There's no overhang. That's what, 28mm base on a tank, and there's no overhang whatsoever. You know, for such a small device as well. You know, I know the camera can't pick it up that well, but it's quite a small device, but it can hold up to that amount, which is absolutely fantastic again. It's really responsive. You are getting the power that you are asking it to deliver, which is great. The screen is nice and clear. You know, it's not overloaded. Maybe the bottom there, maybe them bottom four lines are a little bit, I don't know, pushed together in terms of information, but other than that, no, it's nice and clear. You can see the wattage, you can see the mode and everything else. Touchscreen on this is really responsive. I've not noticed any real issues. There's only that little thing with the menu which you saw in the up close that I was struggling with, but other than that, you can literally just tap away and it works fine. So yeah, just everything about the design of this is fantastic from Smok, which is going to be a surprise for a lot of you guys watching. So next pro for me is going to be battery life on this. Well over a day with dual 18650s, can't complain at that. I wouldn't say it's massively over average like the drag is, but as a general mod, over a day it pushes it just above the average of what I experienced. So that's a pro. Just trying to think. In fact, the side fire bar, there's not many mods out there that does that anymore. It all seems to be going back to buttons again. So again, I really like that. That's a pro. And yeah, I mean, I can't really think of any other real pros for this. I've kind of covered it. It's just really well designed. Everything works well, and if it fits into your hand, it's comfortable. Just everything about it is a really good device. So we'll get into the cons of it now, and I'll see if any more pros pop into my head. But the first con for me is that it's going to be heavy. I know I've got this tank on top, but it's still going to be a heavy mod. It, surprisingly, considering this is the same company that brought the Arcus, which was a lighter dual 18650 device. This is very, very heavy, so it's more robust. It is going to survive knocks. You know, that screen does feel really strong, so another pro there. But yeah, the counter is, it's the weight. So if you're going to be using something like the TFE 16 on the top of this, it's going to feel like a brick in your pocket. So I wouldn't recommend that. Next con for me, go into the menu. Actually, another little pro that I liked was that my mode that I showed you. Just being able to set it up for different tanks. You know, a lot of mods ask for your resistance now every time you put a tank on. It's nice to have them preset options that you can just go in and just pick which one you want for which tank. So for argument's sake, using a TFE16, you can set it 120 watts with whatever liquid that you want to put it to. You know, the TF tank that it comes packaged with, you can set it for that. And it's not, rather than having to cycle through the power, you can just simple select which tank you're using that day, and it'll all be saved for you. So that's absolutely fantastic. In terms of the keyboard input, I wouldn't say it's anything like revolutionary. I mean, it's a nice little feature, but there's not much to do other than typing that out. So it's not really a hero there. I'll point that one. Let's go back to wattage on that. Other cons, this battery clasp, as I said, it is very, very secure. It's also a little bit of a nightmare to open sometimes. Just show you guys. That doesn't come open dead easy, which is a pro, but you do have to put a bit of force into it to get it open. So that might be an issue for somebody maybe who hasn't have an issue with your fingers. You know, you'd be looking for a mod like this, obviously for the easy fire bar, but yeah, you're not gonna get that easy clasp open, but works the other way, like I say. Other than that, the passcode. Now the passcode is a good idea. I mean, originally going back to what was it, the Coronas, that Segeli release, they put a passcode in, and it was such an awkward design. You know, there was no reason for you ever to use the passcode. So now, I say, yeah, on the up close, I couldn't figure out what the passcode was because I'd never set it before. But now I have. When you turn on your device, you do get the passcode there. So simple, your four numbers and okay, and you're back on again. So that's a pro for the security of it. But to be honest, do you need that passcode security on your mod? You know what I mean? I can only imagine it's a child-proofing, which is again a good idea. And if you keep your mod turned on and just locked all the time, which I haven't seen any power issues with that, then you're never really going to see that passcode unless you're changing batteries, which is going to be once a day, maybe once every 2 days, depending on how much you use it. So yeah, I'm just sort of going between pros and cons here now. I know. I'm just enjoying talking about it rather than just doing a pro con done type video. And yeah, there's not really any other cons I can say about this, other than the fact maybe the design is a fingerprint magnet. Say that's a fingerprint magnet, definitely. So, I mean, if your hand's a bit clammy like mine is now, it can be a little bit slippy in the hand as well. So that's going to be a bit of a con. Other than that, there isn't really any other cons I can say with this. So we'll get into the overall now. Actually, now I've just said that, a con for me personally, it's a left-hand sided bar. I'm left-handed, so it means for me to comfortably hold it, I'm holding it like that. So the screen's away from me. But if you're right-handed, it's not going to be an issue, that. So yeah, into the overall now. And overall, the final Smok mod of the year, so to speak. It's a really good device, this. I mean, it is heavier than other mods on the market, but it seems like they've crammed it down a little bit to make it more hand-friendly. So what you're getting is something that you can hold. It's going to feel a bit heavy in your pocket, so it's maybe not the most travelable device on the market now, but it performs really well. The chipset works really well. It compares to pretty much any other chipset at this point now. Everything works well. It's nice and easy to use. It's just everything about it is really well thought out. And yeah, would I recommend a device like this? I would. I know people have their preconceptions with Smok, but yeah, other than the typical Smok design of this, I think this is a really, really good device. And it's something that I would definitely use again, mainly around the house rather than taking it out. But yeah, it's just absolutely fantastic and well thought out. And if this really is the way Smok are releasing their mods now, then potentially they could bring out something really special in the near future. So we'll wrap it up there. But as I always say, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Next up, I'm going to have coming to you guys over the next week or so, I'm going to have the OFRF tank. I've got put that through its paces. I've got the Valerian 2 tank, and I've got another mod and a pod system that I did promise a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to finally get that video out to you guys. But yeah, as I always say, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Stay safe. And keep vaping.